Hello, dear students of MA final year. How are you? I think all of you are in good health during this pandemic, and your study has been hampered by these traumatic situations, and your study will be continued by the help of the department and the order of the Ministry of Education, where we will find that at least we can have complete our syllabus. Now, as a course coordinator of MA final year, I am the first time meeting with you, and your syllabus is yet to complete, but it will be fine when we will take more than 2 or 3 classes a week, and then it will be helpful for you. I have been teaching you the course South Asian and African Literature, course code 311113, and we have completed Nojrul, the poetry of Nojrul, the translated form, and we have completed the Tree Without Roots, the novel by Sayyid Waliullah, and there is one novel in your syllabus, that is African literature, and we hope that today's lecture will be very helpful for you, because I am going to complete the text in today's lecture, and I am going to have some ideas about the pattern of the question that is to come in your examinations. Now, if you look back at South African literature, Chinua Achebe is one of the greatest writers in South African literature, and he has held up his traditions and his belief in your novel that has been prescribed for you. Now, there is one thing to be noted, that if we consider the questions and question patterns of the syllabus, then short question and brief questions are very much helpful for you if we guided our students by helping them to understand that with the reading of the novel, the questions will be answered, and with our discussions, the questions which is set up by the National University will be very much helpful for you by reading this novel. This is a novel which is a pioneer novel in African literature, though written in English for the English spoken people and for African people, and in most of the area of South Africa, the university, college and schools students of South Africa, and most widely read in English spoken countries. Now, one thing is to be noted here, that this novel gives us an idea about the African nationalism and African traditions, belief, and African traditions that has been roaming around the South African countries long years in their inhabitants of that area. Now there are three parts of the novel. One is the hero's upgrowing from his childhood to manhood, the Okonkwo and his family, and his power, his talent, his enacting as a leader, all are depicted in very smooth manners, so that people can understand that what type of hero a South African literature should have, and what type of heroism he should have in his attitude and in his manner. And you will find that Okonkwo, as the hero, has got that type of heroism and as well as his wrong. Man cannot be a person truly perfect, but he can have certain faults also. So Okonkwo is a mixture of these things. When he grew up, he found that his father, who was lazy and poverty-stricken, could not maintain his family. And Okonkwo was that person who says that he could not bear out all this laziness and all these things happening to his family, that is poverty, and he is not going to do everything in the path that his father has taken. Now, whenever you will discuss the novel, you will find that he set himself aside with the people of his village. You will find that in the three parts of the novel, you will find that the first part is giving us the upbringing of Okonkwo as a man. Second part is his exile with his family in Mbayo, and his coming back again in Umofia, and his suicidal consequence. All these are in round up situations with a culture which is inherited by Okonkwo. But he has done one mistake, and that is he did not allow the feelings of others, which is very much to be responsive, and he is the person who care very little about the others' feelings also. There was a thing happened in the market where a murder took place, and the Mbayo community almost going to have a war between the Umofia, but Okonkwo stopped the war by taking a virgin from there and a boy. That boy was given to his second wife, and then for safekeeping, and that was done by Okonkwo, because he knows that the boy will be grown up in the nurture by the nurture of the wife of Okonkwo. Now, another point is to be noted that when he murdered this adopted son, and he has been put into exile with his family for 7 years in the Mbayo, and in the meantime the white people entered into that area where they started their business and their culture to be established in that country, I mean Nigeria, where at a glance you will find that the setting of the novel is in southeastern part of the Nigeria, beside the river Niger, and there the the community of the Okonkwo could not adopt themselves with the situations of the people who are entering into their area, white people, their area, and establish their religion, forcing them to become Christian for their safeguard. But they thought that they wouldn't be able to have the safety enough for the cause of the tradition and culture they have taken. Now, this Igbo culture has got a strong establishment in Nigeria. Now, this Igbo culture has got some belief, traditional belief, and they don't want to leave up those things. And one thing is very much important here: the hero himself, Okonkwo, did not accept the situations that is the colonized people were tortured or beaten by the white people. Though he himself has beaten his wives, his sons, etc., for re-establishing himself as a leader of the Umofia community. Now, there is one thing is to be noted, which is very much significant, that he listened that there are white people entered into his community when he was in in exile, and he decided that he should come back to fight against those people. He would not like to do that thing happening to his community, but his son accepted the Christianity, and that happenings makes him very much angry upon his son. So he disowned his son, and he started violating the administration of the British people. And once happened such that two messengers came to him and wanted to take him to the district commissioner, but he rejected it, and out of rage he killed one of them and the other flew away. Now, this killing shook the strength of the established Christianity or community of the white people. So the district commissioner himself came, and whenever he came into the hut of Okonkwo, he found him that he hanged himself. So this is the attitude, manner of the leader, like Okonko, where he should have fought with the white people, but he could not. So it is his failure, it is his tragedy that he should have fought against the white peoples and their established Christianity in that area. Now, when you will discuss these things, you will find that one of the established Mr. Brown of the Christian community, he wanted things like happens like that, but he was in a certain shocking condition where he found that Okonko, who was their leader, could not bear out the situations what they did. Now, one thing is to be noted. Now, the Okonko is the representative character, no doubt. Okonko is the leader of his community, no doubt. Okonko is not that type of leader who could have his strength to fight against the white people, because he was in exile and he came back in his country, in his village. The village is the first village where he was grown up, and secondly the second village, Mbayo, which is mother's village. So a kind of exile goes from here to there, and returning that a kind of changes take place in the mind of the character, I mean Okonko, protagonist, where you will find very keenly that these changes is very much a kind of wrong changes. First change is that he was established as a leader. He was a person who killed person for his wrongdoing, for their wrongdoing, but he suicided so that he could not fight against those white people. So these changes is a kind of downward changing in the character of Okonko. Now, if you want to analyze the character, that Okonko, whether he could be called as a true African hero or not, or pioneer of African hero or not, or he could be taken as the representative hero of the Southeast African literature, is to be noted. Now, first of all, you will find that he has got that capability of being heroism in his grown up period as a man in his village. But after coming from Mbayo to Umufuya, he found that he was helpless because his son himself has converted into Christianity. He doesn't want to convert himself into Christianity because he believes his tradition and Igbo culture. Now, but what he did is that he suicided. This is not a type of thing which goes with the traditional faith and belief with the Igbo culture. Igbo culture does not allow these things, suicide. But if you find, compare the situations, many of the characters in the history of English literature have gone through that type of experience, that type of situations, where you will find they finally surrendered themselves by doing that type of things. So, as an African hero, he is very much pioneer. As an African leader, he is also very pioneer. He has got that power and that strength where people firstly agreed him to take as a leader, but he could not maintain his family wisely because he always had that kind of rage, that kind of rigorous attitude towards his family. He did not like his father because his father has driven themselves in the poverty and in debt, and that is why he wanted to be a wrestler, and he became a wrestler of a much weighty one, and he defeated their national hero, who was also a wrestler called the Cat, because he never down himself on the back. But when he was defeated by Okonkwo, he did such, and Okonkwo became the leader of their wrestling community. So these are the ingredients or elements that could make his attitude and his manner to become a hero of African society. But if you consider that was it wise that he has taken his life in such a condition that he hanged himself. But if you this is one point where you will find that the tradition does not permit him to do such, but he violated the Igbo culture. So in such a situation, it could be happened like that. Because you cannot change your thinking without mingling up with the Christianity. But he has taken the chance of suicide because he did not want to mix with the Christianity and convert himself in the Christianity. So he is a real hero. In these situations, what could be happening, that the hero himself has taken a chance to make the people understand that if my tradition says that suicide is a sin, he would do that sin, but he would not surrender to the Christian community. He would not surrender to the white people. He could hold up the traditions and beliefs of his community. That is why he is to be considered as the hero of African society, the pioneer of the African society. So the setting of the novel, very much important. In southeastern part of Nigeria, beside the river Niger, the clan or the community of Okonkwo live there, inhabits there, and they inhabit there, and they live in a very good life there by the help of the hero. So when he goes astray, Okonkwo, he forgets his leadership. He forgets his leadership, that he should be like that leader, but he was wrongdoers. He killed people. He beats people. He beats his family member also. These are the things what is natural for a human being. He is not extraordinary human being. He is simple human being, common human being, but has got certain qualities in him which could become make him become a hero of the African society, and he could held up the African community, traditions and culture. This is what is all about, and things fall apart. The title of the novel is taken from the Second Coming of W.B. Yeats. Things fall apart, center cannot help. So these quoted things is very much suitable for the things, because things fall apart. His traditions fall apart. His beliefs fall apart. That is why he suicided. So the other characters are very not too much significant, because they are in a mood which is very much insignificant, because the other Okonkwo is the forerunner of the characters. His boy, his adopted son, his second wife, they all are in a minor characters, but Okonkwo himself was presented in such a way by the novelist Chinua Achebe that he could have that ability, that characters, that elements in him, that he could be called as the African national hero in the novel Things Fall Apart. So wherever you are, stay safe. We'll have another lecture very soon, and then we'll meet again, and we'll have our course advanced towards the finishing. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe, stay at home.